Hello, I'm Justice Arts and I do arts. I love remaking stuff that inspires me and do it in my own way. I already created quite a few amazing projects, so if you want you can check them out a bit later. But today I will show you how I remade this new League of Legends character, Bel'Veth cinematic. I think their concept video is just great. There's a lot of interesting and amazing information, and even some of the concepts which they didn't use, they put it in the video, which I think would be just amazing to copy. Maybe not try to remake the whole cinematic thing, but just as a speed sculpt. So this concept video was extremely useful for me to gather a reference and see a bit more without the lighting stuff. So I took a lot of snapshots from it, but of course the main focus is still the main cinematic video, which I rewatched quite a few times and take a few screenshots for the use. So for sculpting part, as most of my complicated projects, I always end up using ZBrush. And I really liked to start sculpting from a clean sphere, especially for this type of project, which is not very standard. This is not really a human shape, even if it has a head. Sometimes, as with this project, I in the beginning like to use a Sculptor's Pro because I don't need to use Dynamesh. And for some reason with Sculptor's Pro I'm able to get a bit differently looking shapes, which I kind of liked for this project because it's not really a very organic oval female face shapes. It was a bit more hard, a bit more sharper on the edges, which kind of worked pretty good with Sculptor's Pro. I don't want to spend too much time working on only the head. Need to move forward working on other parts of the character just to see how the face will look with everything combined. And it's a good practice not to work on one area consistently, because at some point you start missing big mistakes which you're making. I had quite a bit of trouble trying to finalize the proportions of the body because in the cinematic it moves a lot and it's kind of hard to tell how far the wingspan should be. So I was struggling with that part and I was not completely sure if I want to follow it as close as possible as well to the concept, but I didn't want to worry about that too much. That's why I end up going into details quite early, because I was not worrying about not being able to change proportions a bit later. Especially I didn't find any references for how thick the wings should be, those rocky spikes on her shoulders, but I think at the end they turn out just fine. When I created a nice base for the body, I went back to work on the face to fix some of the features and add a new small details. Then I moved to creating her hair, and her hair is quite simple, so I didn't take too much long time blocking them out, and the details are quite simple as well. I think it's more of a texturing work on the hair than sculpting it itself. When I had most of the things already sculpted, I went back with every single detail because I wanted to copy the concept's details as much as I can. So I just went with the very small brushes to fill in the details that I needed. I think I missed quite a few places for the details. I missed quite a few details as well, but I got pretty close, so I didn't think that it was extremely necessary to go back and reposition everything, because if I wanted to change, then I will have to do a lot of work to be able to fill in the missing parts. I thought that already spending this much on the sculpting part is enough, and at this point I was already quite happy with the result that I was getting from the model. So at this point I was just worrying how well I will be able to mesh in everything with the texturing part. For retopology and UVs, I didn't do too much of the work. I chose to use ZBrush zero measure function just because I'm not really going to be using this model for anything else, and for animation it's definitely going to be enough accurate where I will get all the details and I will still be very comfortably able to animate it. For UV part, I used some of ZBrush functions to create UVs, I believe, for the body. For the face, I tried using that, but I wasn't able to get the UV that I wanted. But it was perfectly fine to do them in Blender, because with the extrude options on the face, I end up creating very nice loops where it was very easy to make seams. Moving to texturing, all I can say is that it was a really hard part for me to do. The materials of her body, even her face and everything, is very futuristic and very unclear what they should be. I believe it's something between a fish, rock, and even a skin. So it's very hard to pinpoint how everything should be exactly. But I didn't want to think too hard about it, so I went very early into testing phase, testing everything, how the smart materials, how simple materials are looking, what maybe I would like, and I wanted to add some more details to the model body, so I went very early testing out how to add details which I would like, and the color variation. So it was a lot of playing. For the sculpt, I was trying to follow a concept as close as possible, but for texturing phase, I kinda did and kinda did not. I wanted more to test out a lot of things and to even put some other things that I think would look just amazing. The first thing, I didn't see that heavy emission from the cinematic phase, but I thought it makes a lot of sense to put the emission between the crack parts of the face and where the lips are, because in the cinematic concept, the lips were a bit bright shining of the purple color, which I positioned there. When I finally exported my textures, I loaded up in Blender and they were not looking as good as I thought they would be. I believe the problem was my error at the first, but in the end, I still wasn't exactly happy. I think in substance, a lot of things look much different than Blender, even if I play a lot with the export options. I even like to change the brightness and the darkness of the image in Blender to adjust the look, but it was still not looking exactly 100% as it was looking in Substance. I wasn't worrying too much about this right now. I just wanted to add all the parts that I needed. So I went up and filled in the face with the tentacles that you can clearly see at the cinematic. And I think it's one of the most important parts of the cinematic look. And I thought the best course of action was to make each tentacle individually. Well, not exactly that. I still duplicated and copied, but positioning and what direction they are facing was very important part. I believe I still made a mistake. Probably should have made one tentacle with a bone system and then just duplicate it over and over again. And that way I probably wouldn't have needed to rig them individually. But it wasn't too much of the hassle because there wasn't that many of different tentacles. It was around 20-30, so it didn't take much time because even in the bones I did not add too many segments. I wasn't thinking to move body, but I still added a really simple rig for it, just so I can add some weird small movement to it so it doesn't look too static. But for the face, I knew before even making the cinematic that I want her head to open up like in cinematic. I was not completely sure how I would do it, but I believe that simple rig would work, and it worked just fine. For HDR and lighting, I got a chance to use really good paid add-on, which is for making interactive HDR. I'll very briefly show how I use this add-on, and if you want, you can buy it with my affiliate link in the description. Before using this add-on, I recommend you to set up a small thing. So first go into edit mode, preferences, and choose the file path. And press the plus sign and go into the library where you have your add-on saved and add asset to library. I'll cancel that because I have it already saved. And when you're done, make sure the save preferences or auto save is on. When you do that, now you should have this thing in your asset library. So I'll drag the window, press asset library, and choose the new library which I just saved. Make sure the add-on is in that library and you should see these quick choices. For opening the add-on itself, I press N shortcut, and here you can see atmosphere. I press on this and turn the add-on on. Now let's go into render view, so don't worry about that. And now for testing, we can use these quick presets, and you can see all of them works extremely well and makes interesting looks. For my final one, I believe I used Mars because I didn't want to have an Earth. And when you have this, you'll get this starlight sun. And the starlight sun will control the direction and place for your actual sun in the scene. And you as well can animate this. So by moving it, I mean rotating it, I'm changing the position of the sun. And in my render, I did move it very, very low. So the scene itself becomes quite dark. So something like that. And I changed the colors to my reference. My reference was mostly pink, purple, or close to red or blue. So I play with these values. You can change the sun, it doesn't have to be exactly same color. And I definitely added some clouds, so it's pretty easy. They're already in, but they're not very visible because there's not that many of them. So I just increased the scale by quite a lot and the thickness, so they become very, very visible. And I believe I increased the intensity of atmosphere just a little bit. Be careful with this, it's better to write in the number. You can play with these values and see how it works. Be quite careful because this number is quite sensitive, so if I write 4, it becomes very bright. And you can change the intensity of the sun, the intensity of atmosphere. Everything can be changed in this small but very powerful menu. I believe my sun was a bit lower. It was becoming quite dark. And that's basically how I got the view of my scene. So again, don't forget you can use my affiliate link to buy this add-on. Now all that is left, it's a bit of animating and of course rendering, play with compositor a little bit, and a simple video editing. I did use some color correction and a bit of small effects to make it a bit more lively. I'm not gonna tease you any longer, and let's see the final result.
I am the end of the world and the beginning of mine.
Thank you for watching, and if you liked this one, then I have quite a few more videos just like this, so feel free to check them. I'll leave the video links in the description. I hope you had fun, and see you in the next one.